The drama in Genoa City never stops, and the young and the restless fans have witnessed an unexpected transformation. Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers, once bitter enemies, may finally be on the path to friendship. After enduring a terrifying kidnapping ordeal together, these two strong women have found common ground in their fight for survival. Sharon and Phyllis have spent years at odds, battling over love, betrayal, and personal grudges. However, their recent captivity changed everything. Locked away by an unknown captor, who was later revealed as Martin Laurent posing as Alan, their usual hostility had to take a backseat to survival. Instead of fighting each other, Sharon and Phyllis had no choice but to work together. From strategizing an escape to keeping each other sane through their darkest moments, they formed a bond neither of them expected. For once, they saw each other beyond their past mistakes. Sharon Case, the actress who plays Sharon, recently spoke to Soaps in depth about this storyline. She revealed that this kidnapping was unlike any of her character's past abductions because she wasn't alone this time. Instead, she was locked up with Phyllis, and the experience changed both of them. It was intense, Case admitted, but you get a groove that way. You really get a good focus. She explained how working closely with Michelle Stafford Phyllis for weeks helped bring depth to their characters' evolving relationship. Case also teased an upcoming episode that was particularly challenging to film. With no room for multiple takes, both actresses had to get it right in one go. The emotional weight of that moment will likely cement the shift in Sharon and Phyllis' relationship. What happens next for Sharon and Phyllis? Though they have been rescued by Billy Abbott and Nick Newman, Sharon and Phyllis' troubles are far from over. They now have to process the trauma of their captivity. Both women are strong in their own ways, but the experience will leave lasting scars. Sharon and Phyllis may not suddenly become best friends, but their interactions will change. Instead of outright hostility, they might share a complicated bond, one filled with respect, understanding, and perhaps occasional tension. It gives Sharon and Phyllis some reason in the future to play hot and cold with each other, Case explained. They have that bond now, but they still have reasons to feel either way about each other. With Martin still on the loose, the danger may not be over. However, The Young and the Restless has set the stage for a new chapter in Sharon and Phyllis' story. Whether they remain allies or fall back into old habits, their relationship will never be the same. Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. Next week on My and R, Tracy has questions for Alan, but will she get answers? We're sure she will. What we're not sure of is if her new fiancé will tell her the truth. Thus far, Tracy's romance with Alan has been a dream come true. However, his latest actions tell us her pink cloud may soon burst, especially if the fan rumors are true and Alan isn't really a Lan after all. You won't need to keep a close eye on Sharon this week because Nick has that job covered. He's making it his personal mission to get his soulmate the supports she's going to need. For too long now, Sharon has suffered trauma after terrifying trauma, and it's time for her to have a few moments of peace, and Nick is going to make sure that happens at all costs. Audra may be all about Nate, but Holden is all about her. During the upcoming week, he'll take a leap of faith and push his luck with Audra. Will he push too far and drive her further away? It's clear Holden is holding a torch for her. Is there anything he can say or do to win her over and steal her from Nate? In a world like Genoa City, anything can happen. Nick has always had a soft spot for Sharon on Young and the Restless, but at what point does helping turn into something more? Time and time again, he swoops in to save her, from minor inconveniences to full-blown disasters. His latest heroic effort of rescuing Sharon from the infamous basement of terror alongside Phyllis is just another example of his undeniable instinct to be her knight in shining armor. Nick isn't just playing the role of the good guy here, He's been in love with Sharon for decades, and no amount of denial can change that. So why does he keep pretending otherwise? Maybe it's time for him to stop running from the truth and start running to Sharon, not just in times of crisis, but in times of love too. He could be Sharon's everything if he just opens that door. Sharon is just as much and always has been. Through their various affairs, marriage, and trauma, all roads always have and always will lead right back to each other. Nick and Sharon's love story is one for the books, filled with passion, heartbreak, and an undeniable connection. Their bond has stood the test of time, but Nick continues to hold himself back. He tells himself it's about doing the right thing, about being there for the mother of his children. But the reality? He wants to be there. He needs to be there. How many times does he need to play Sharon's hero before he realizes she's his happily ever after? Maybe the real rescue mission should be saving himself from his own stubbornness and finally admitting that Sharon is, and always has been, the love of his life. It's time for Nick to face facts and be the man she deserves in every sense of the word. Many Genoa City residents will be put in the hot seat this week. The Young and the Restless spoilers video preview reveals an ex-couple contemplates their future, while another character could have their crimes exposed. Here's a look at what to expect for the week of March 17 to 21. With Amy's health deteriorating, Nate is doing all he can to help. The former doctor pulled some strings to get her an appointment with an oncologist in Chicago. Meanwhile, Amy's estranged son Damien struggles to forgive his mother. Although the two had a breakthrough, Damien and Amy have a long way to go before reconciling. But that could change this week when a concerned Damien asks Nate about the latest updates on Amy's health. Sharon returns to Crimson Lights after she and Phyllis were freed from captivity. A concerned Nick stops by to check on her. He's been her biggest supporter as she dealt with her many ordeals these past few months. The exes have been growing closer, and it's obvious that Sharon still loves him. Now it's his turn to be honest when Sharon asks if he ever thinks about them getting back together. Meanwhile, Phyllis reunites with her daughter Summer at the GCAC. Phyllis will have much to say about being held captive with Sharon. But Summer's concern is the kidnapper who hasn't been caught. With the person still at large, Summer fears Phyllis is still in danger. Everyone is unaware that Alan is Phyllis and Sharon's captor. However, his fiancée Tracy could expose Alan's secret. Last week, a curious Tracy checked Alan's phone when it kept pinging. Well, her snooping might put her in harm's way when Alan catches her with his phone. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of March 17 to 21 imply some explosive bombshells on the horizon. As fans know, Genoa City can be a revolving door where characters come and go. Only Christine Blair is set to return to the land of Genoa City this coming June. The last time fans saw the bug in town was in January of this year when she rang in 2025 with her rockstar boyfriend, Danny Romalotti. The bold and the beautiful fans will see Cricket a lot sooner though. She is slated to appear on the CBS Sister show for a storyline that takes place between April 24 and April 28. Welcome to Genoa City, Billy Flynn. In a major casting shocker, Days of Our Lives, Billy Flynn is exiting Salem and heading to Genoa City. The actor has been cast in a new role set to debut this spring. No more information has been provided, so fans need to continue to stay tuned to the site for more details. Meanwhile, Days of Our Lives fans can expect to see Billy continue on as Chad until 2026, due to the soap's filming schedule that shoots several months in advance. Super couple storyline. While fans don't see Tracy Abbott and her boyfriend Alan Laurent all too often, they are set for a major storyline and will dominate the Young and the Restless canvas during the week of March 17 to 21. As fans know, Alan isn't really Alan, but rather seemingly his evil twin, Martin Laurent. Plus, he's the one behind Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman's recent kidnapping. Is Tracy in danger? Will anyone figure out who's behind this? Fans will have to tune in to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of March 17, 2025 are here. Fans can expect Tracy Abbott to interrogate Alan Laurent. Damian Kane's motives are questioned by Lily Winters. Also, Holden Novak pressures Audra Charles. Alan Laurent explains. During the week of March 17, fans will see Tracy continue to question Alan about the phone alert. The retired psychiatrist will claim that a hacker got into the cell and he'll deal with it later. Tracy is caught off guard by Alan's explanation and brush-off, though. As Tracy continues asking questions, her fiance will lose his cool, helping Tracy Abbott. Even though Tracy wants to give her lover the benefit of the doubt, his excuses just won't make sense to her. They just got engaged and Tracy is extremely happy with him. However, she might not be able to get past the phone alert and his odd behavior. Later in the week, Tracy gets some counseling from Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott. Just wait until everyone learns what that phone alert was really about. Lily Winters' grilling session. Over with Lily, expect the Genoa City resident to question Damian's motives. Even though Lily finds herself drawn to and charmed by Damian, she also knows he's deceptive and manipulative. So when Lily questions his motives, what will he say? Meanwhile, Holden puts more pressure on Audra. Nick Newman's surprise invitation. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers have been rescued from their killer kidnapping ordeal. They aren't completely out of the woods yet, though. Alan or Martin Laurent is still out there. Nick wants to help Sharon after all the trauma she's endured. He suggests a visit to New York so Sharon can visit with her son. Sharon thinks it's a great idea, but could Alan/Martin follow her? Sharon has met Alan before, so she might not think there's any danger if they run into each other. So let's see what happens with that storyline. Week of March 17, 2025. Next week, fans will also see Billy Abbott learn something surprising about Phyllis. Victor Newman doles out a reality check to Kyle Abbott. Also, expect more sparks to fly between Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal there are 3 must-see moments the week of March 17, 2025. Fans can expect Chance Chancellor to find a clue. Meanwhile, Alan Laurent confronts Tracy Abbott. Plus, Sharon Newman invites Nick Newman on a getaway trip. Chance Chancellor's clue. During the week of March 17, fans can expect Chance Chancellor to find a clue. The detective orders his men to get fingerprints and collect evidence. A remote control apparatus is also found, which was used to gas Sharon and Phyllis Summers at Havenhurst Psychiatric Clinic. It turns out that there is a hardware store nearby where it was probably bought at. So Chance will want to review that security footage to see if they can ID the kidnapper. Sharon Newman's invitation. Over at the coffee shop, Sharon and Nick catch up after the big rescue. Now that Sharon has gotten a shower, some sleep, and her meds, she's probably feeling much better. Nick knows that Sharon has been through a lot of horrifying ordeals lately, so Nick will suggest that Sharon go on a trip to New York. Sharon is totally up for the idea, but asks her ex to come with her. Tracy Abbott's danger. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that one must-see moment features Phyllis. Even though the kidnapping victims were saved, the person who did this is still out there. It really did just seem like a game to Alan Laurent or Martin Laurent. Then, Tracy was busted looking at Alan's phone when the clinic alarm went off. While the psychiatrist tries to blow it off, Tracy just can't stop bringing it up. This will only put more pressure on Alan or Martin. While Alan/Martin doesn't do anything to Tracy this week, she does turn to family for some help. Tracy gets counseled by Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott. Summer Newman's frantic panic. Fans will also see Summer Newman panic over her mother's kidnapper still being out there. While Summer thinks her mom is in danger still, she could turn to Kyle Abbott. Even though Kyle set down boundaries before, Summer knows how to slither her way in there. So it will be interesting to see how Claire Grace Newman reacts to all of this. She's been patient so far, but that won't last forever. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Sharon Newman was rescued by Nick Newman and others once again. But she and Phyllis Summers accomplished what they previously would have seen impossible, allowing them to survive until a rescue squad arrived. What turned out to be an intriguing storyline included some moments of doubt. Sharon, Phyllis, and those searching for them couldn't determine the abductor's motivation. Audience members understood the feeling, as this tale launched oddly and was jarring until the end. It's reasonable to critique all points in a tale as it's being told, meaning that it's fair to question why this specific storyline happened. Yet, the reveal of Alan Laurent, or if this person is the assumed dead identical twin, Martin, was perfect. Is Martin Laurent alive and unwell? Martin could very well have been the brother who survived the window fall in Paris, France, that made it appear as though he died. Then again, Alan could be revealed as alive and sharing the same mental illness issues. Let's assume the more straightforward route and say that Alan survived the fall. That would be the arguably more challenging outcome for Tracy Abbott because she would have fallen in love with a man who wasn't an imposter. However, if Martin survived, Tracy would be in for a tremendous shock and seem to be in greater danger. Viewers can only imagine what might happen to Tracy if she learns or confirms that he is the abductor. Considering what this man, whoever he is, did to Sharon and Phyllis, makes it likely he would do the same or worse to his now fiancé. Ian Ward headfake is on Genoa City characters. Billy Abbott thought like a hardcore viewer when he asked if Ian Ward was dead. That's the type of question someone who's watched this show since Wise's first run on the show would ask. So why did Billy ask it? It was a head fake to the audience at that point in the plot. Every viewer who saw Ian wake up when he was transported to the morgue assumed he might be or was exacting a revenge plot against Sharon and Phyllis. That was a rational assumption because Ian told Jordan Howard that those two specific characters bolixed his plans. So, Alan or Martin's reveal as the kidnapper seems to mean he and not Ian is the villain. However, viewers can still believe that Ian wasn't cremated as Nick and Chance Chancellor think they know. Nick Newman can go forward. Nick and Sharon have often been together since Ray Rosales died. Presently, they aren't romantically involved with any other character. Along with their history, current state of peace and understanding, it is realistically possible that these two iconic characters are being written back to the status of a couple. Whether that leads to a long-awaiting remarriage remains an open question, with only one marriage ever having happened between them. However, the detente between Phyllis and Sharon could take Stafford's character off the board. She could support Chick or make a play for Nick, which would reignite her rivalry with Sharon anew. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of March 17, 2025 are here. Fans can expect Tracy Abbott to grill Alan Laurent. Lily Winters questions Damian Kane's motives. Plus, Holden Novak presses his luck with Audra Charles. Alan Laurent's excuse. During the week of March 17, fans will see Alan and Tracy have a tense encounter. Alan walked in and found Tracy looking at his phone. Tracy explained that his phone kept going off and an alert showed up for a clinic. Alan will claim that a hacker got into his phone. When Tracy keeps bringing it up, he starts to lose his patience. Tracy Abbott counseled. Tracy might not know whether to believe Alan or not. Tracy loves him and just got engaged. Alan also makes her really happy. Alan's excuse could continue to nag at Tracy, but will she change her mind about the wedding? Later in the week, Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott counsel Tracy. So it sounds like Tracy might open up to them about Alan's phone and the excuse. Damien Kane's motives. Over with Lily, she will have another encounter with Damien. Even though Damien and Lily do seem charmed by one another, there are also secrets and deception. Lily also feels that she still doesn't really know anything real or personal about Damien. She will question his motives, but will Damien get honest? Over with Holden, he presses his luck with Audra. Nick Newman's unexpected invitation. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers aren't out of danger yet. While they were rescued, their kidnapper is still out there. Of course, they have no idea that it's Alan, or is it really Martin Laurent? Sharon has decided it might be a good time to visit her son in New York. Nick will get an unexpected invitation, though. Sharon will want him to come with her, but will he accept? Could something more come from the trip? Week of March 17, 2025. Next week, fans will also see Billy Abbott make a discovery about Phyllis. Victor Newman gives Kyle Abbott a reality check. Also, sparks fly between Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson after discovering quite a few odd notifications on Alan's phone alerting him to a security breach. Tracy is curious as to what's really going on. Is it something Alan should be worried about? Could he be hiding something from her? When Alan sees Tracy with the phone, he immediately becomes alarmed but covers for himself and tries to brush off the alerts. He can't blow his cover now, and he certainly doesn't want to lose Tracy. Alan finds himself between a rock and a hard place, but has to put on a happy face. Will Tracy notice Alan's demeanor change and realize there is a lot more about this man that she doesn't know? Perhaps she is rushing into things by agreeing to marry him. Now that Sharon and Phyllis are home and safe, Nick is determined to get to the bottom of what happened to her and Phyllis. He regroups with Sharon and Chance at Crimson Lights to go over what they know and solve this mystery. Nick is ready to take charge, so he forms a plan to help Sharon. Will he get Chance on board, or will Chance want to stop Nick from going rogue? If Chance participates in this plan, at least he will have a chance of keeping everyone safe. Will Phyllis and Billy also become part of this plan? While Sharon meets with Nick and Chance, Phyllis can't wait to see Billy and heads to his apartment. Teasers say that Billy makes a discovery about Phyllis. Might he realize that she still has feelings for him and was ready to fly to Paris and tell him as much before she was kidnapped? Billy was as worried about Phyllis as Nick was about Sharon. Perhaps there is something between them that still needs to be explored. Of course, Sally is a part of Billy's life now. Is she about to have her heart broke and be left out in the cold once again? The hunt is over on the Young and the Restless, for now. Nick and Billy finally found Sharon and Phyllis. No longer do Sharon and Phyllis have to hunt for riddles, search for clues, or deduce how to get out of the dangerous game Alan. Or is that Martin set up for them? As Sharon said, it was like an Easter egg hunt gone bad. Billy was never more right than when he told Nick that his family's sure been through a lot in a really short period of time. Let's dig in and unpack this puzzling story of puzzles. How old is this year now? About 11 weeks? And in that time, Sharon Collins could brag that she is one of the only soap characters to be kidnapped and held hostage twice during those 11 weeks, both times in a dungeon-like prison. That's no small feat. Poor Sharon has barely had a shower or change of clothes since the year began. She was kidnapped on the way to a New Year's Eve party, and then kidnapped again on Valentine's Day. So Sharon has essentially spent the entirety of 2025 so far in her holiday attire. It's almost spring. Someone give poor Sharon a wardrobe change. How does that even happen to one character? We guess we can be happy that Sharon wasn't quickly backburnered again, as has happened whenever her other crisis stories have ended over the last few years. And what a kidnapping it was. We had a mysterious voice on an old-school loudspeaker, Valentine's Day cards, poison water, antidotes, creepy music, board games, a gas leak, and a shrieking Phyllis. What more could Sharon want to keep her front and center, mired in the thick of things? The only problem was that it might have been a little too much for the audience. Valentine's Day told us that Y&R is headed toward chic and Philly reunions. But did we need to see a psychological warfare kidnapping to make it happen right after Sharon's last kidnapping ordeal just 2 weeks prior? Even Sharon and Phyllis' enemy status seemed contrived. While it's true there is a long simmering history of extreme dislike among the two characters, it had at least reached frenemy territory a few years ago. Phyllis even took Sharon on vacation to keep her from blabbing the truth about JT back in 2017. Phyllis' tear-filled reaction after learning Sharon had breast cancer also showed that her feelings for Sharon had changed. But 2024 made them enemies again. And now, they are frenemies again because Tracy's new fiance, who never even met them, decided they should be. Say what now? We're sure we'll get some answers soon, but we're not sure if those answers will make any sense whatsoever. We also have absolutely no idea if Alan is the twin who died last year, if Alan was always the crazy twin, if neither twin died, if the real Alan fell for Tracy and has now been replaced by Martin. If both brothers have been playing this game. It's nice when a soap keeps you guessing, but too much guessing can induce a headache and turn fans off. Plus, neither Alan nor Martin had anything to do with Sharon and Phyllis. He was a self-contained character we'd met a handful of times who mostly had an off-screen relationship with Tracy. Whatever reason the show comes up with for Alan/Martin torturing Sharon and Phyllis, so they could then become BFFs, will likely be contrived and make very little sense, because Alan has no established history with these characters and no way of knowing their own relationship history. This doesn't even take into account breaking poor Tracy's heart for no apparent reason. This beloved longtime character is over the moon happy for the first time in years, and is about to have the rug pulled out from under her for no reason. Couldn't poor recurring Tracy be left alone to find happiness later in life with a nice doctor who didn't turn out to be a psychopath? Was that too much to ask? Nick and Billy got hard to work trying to find Sharon and Phyllis, and they even succeeded. They may have bumbled through the task with Chance taskitsking them the whole way through, but Sharon and Phyllis are now safe. That means Summer can stop whining, and we can take our hands off our ears. Phew. At least we had the calamitous comedy of the useless cops and two middle-aged men gone rogue trying to get into an abandoned building. They didn't even know that Sharon and Phyllis down in the basement were having a good laugh over Nick's stellar rescue skills. And speaking of Summer, we need a break from the perpetually confused and complaining Summer. We also need an explanation for her wardrobe this week. Why did she choose a cowgirl outfit to fret about her mother? To distract us from her attitude, how much more griping can she do? How many more times can she concern herself with her son when she barely sees him, and still refuses to move out of her hotel room so Harrison can live with her? Summer lives her life in a perpetual state of anger. She never has anything nice to say, never just sits back to chill, and always has her nose in the air whenever she is around another woman. Enough, please. Claire, we never knew we had it in ya. Little Miss Innocent, who never dated before Kyle, sure knows how to flirt at a bar. It makes us wonder if there are still things Claire has not revealed about herself, or if this is Claire coming into her own, but we like what we see. Kyle and Claire have been completely contrived and boring. It almost felt like Kyle and Lola, another woman whose virginity Kyle took only to dump her for Summer, which we're sure will happen with Claire. Summer and Kyle pretty much deserve each other anyway, and maybe Claire deserves Holden. Those few minutes discussing 007 and martinis had more chemistry and oomph than any scenes we have seen with Kyle and Claire over the last year. Give us more of that and send Kyle and Summer back to Paris where they can learn to be proper adults. While Nick got all the attention as a rescue hero, A handful of quiet scenes between Victor and his black sheep son might have won the week. All Adam has ever wanted is his father's love, and he has it. Odds are he is going to screw it up, but we're going to enjoy it while it lasts. And so is Chelsea, as round 1,000,000,001 of Chatham has officially commenced. The previous week on the CBS soap opera, The Young and the Restless delivered dramatic confrontations and shocking revelations among the important players in Genoa City. Despite the family rivalry, Nick Newman approached Billy Abbott to search for Sharon and Phyllis. Meanwhile, Sharon and Phyllis were forced to take part in a cruel experiment. When Sharon stopped breathing, Phyllis rushed to help her as she performed CPR, eventually reviving Sharon. Tracy accepted a marriage proposal from Alan Laurent, unaware of the fact that he was actually his evil twin brother, Martin. By the week's end, dramatic events unfolded, leaving many lives in chaos in Genoa City. Nick and Billy finally managed to rescue Sharon and Phyllis with the help of Chase and his team. Later, Tracy checked Alan's phone and became suspicious after reading a questionable notification. At the beginning of the week on The Young and the Restless, Phyllis fell extremely ill due to poisoning. Sharon desperately looked for an antidote by following the captor's clues in a race to save Phyllis's life. As she searched the whole room for clues, she figured out that some water might cure her. She asked Phyllis to drink, hoping that she had made the right choice. Meanwhile, Nick decided to keep aside their family rivalry and approached Billy for support. With no updates about Sharon and Phyllis, Nick turned to Billy for help. Billy asked Nick to take a break as they shared a beer together. Despite clashing against each other, they bonded over the crisis. Later, Nate told Audra that he trusted her, but he could not stop thinking about Holden. Attempting to ease Nate's mind, Audra told him everything about Holden. She teased Nate playfully about being jealous, saying that it showed how much he loved her. Previously, Sharon helped Phyllis with some water and started bonding for a brief moment. However, the captor revealed that they were test subjects and lab rats in a dangerous experiment. The moment was terrifying for the two of them, but it helped them lean on each other. As everyone struggled to find clues about Sharon and Phyllis, Chance sparked a ray of hope with new information. He presented a CCTV footage of a white van without windows that was linked to both disappearances. This clue gave some hope to Nick as he thought that tracing the van would lead them to Sharon and Phyllis. Later, Summer interrupted Kyle's date with Claire by saying that they needed to talk about Harrison. She was worried that the news of Phyllis' disappearance might make him upset. Stuck between worrying about Harrison and wanting to spend time with Claire, Kyle reluctantly agreed to leave the date. The March 17 to 21 week on The Young and the Restless is said to bring high-stakes drama, emotional showdowns, and life-or-death danger to some of Genoa City's most beloved citizens. With tensions running hot, relationships are pushed to the limit, secrets are exposed, and danger comes from the most unlikely sources. The weekly preview shows that Sharon will be ready to confront Nick about their history and future, while Summer will be dealing with growing anxiety over Phyllis's well-being. Tracy, on the other hand, will learn a heart-wrenching secret about Alan that will flip everything around and place her squarely in the line of harm. Along the way, viewers can certainly expect some incendiary drama and moments. Summer Newman has tension coming her way after Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman were kidnapped. Even though the two women have been rescued, the kidnapper remains unknown. Summer, who at first felt relieved that her mom was safe, will soon be consumed by fear. With the perpetrator still at large, she will begin worrying that Phyllis might get kidnapped again. Phyllis will try to reassure Summer, but in secret, she knows the threat is real. Whoever did this is a total whack job, Phyllis will admit, sharing Summer's terror that their troubles are far from over. As they attempt to piece together clues about the kidnapping, Summer will start to wonder if they should take further precautions to safeguard Phyllis. Will Summer's growing fears lead her to radical action? Or will she uncover a crucial piece of evidence that results in the arrest of the mastermind of the ordeal? Meanwhile, Sharon will be determined to have it out with Nick Newman. Having survived months of drama, she will need to know where they stand. The two have a history of love, heartbreak, and reconciliation, and Sharon won't be able to help but question whether there is still something between them. As the two sit down for a heart-to-heart, Sharon will confront Nick, asking him if he ever thinks about rekindling their relationship. The question will catch Nick off guard, but Sharon will not let it go. She will not beat around the bush anymore. Sharon's recent experiences have shown her that life is too short to leave important words unspoken. Will Nick admit to still loving Sharon, or has he truly moved on? His answer could change the course of their relationship forever. The most sensational story of the week on The Young and the Restless will likely involve Tracy Abbott. Fresh from being engaged to Alan, she'll find herself in danger when she discovers a life-changing secret about her fiancé. Everything will seem fine for Tracy until she takes a call on Alan's phone. What she hears will shake her, causing her to question whether she even knows the man she's about to marry. Is Alan part of the disappearance of Sharon and Phyllis? If so, to what degree? Before she can process what she has uncovered, Alan will return to the room and catch her red-handed. His reaction will be chilling, and suddenly, Tracy will realize she may have put herself in grave danger. As Alan demands to know what she's doing, the tension will escalate. Tracy's instincts will tell her she is in trouble, but will she be able to escape before it's too late? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.